Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions. And whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it? To see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. I think the O-line, they might like and take more satisfaction out of those runs than anybody else.
Without a doubt, because they're the ones that often have created it.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Buying time to his left. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a run with McCaffrey, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. It worked out well. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Oh, a free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. A touchdown apiece here in this first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He's going to field this at the 4. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
No. Check. Patriot.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They're going to look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Eric Reed in on the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. Back to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And the grab by Croft.
Missed.
He will not go down. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Funchess is free. Touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Gano now to add the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 14-7. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he is inching closer to that 100-yard mark.
And that's the goal. That's the benchmark that every runner in the NFL is trying to get to, and he's locked in on it pretty well right now. And I would suspect that his linemen are locked in pretty well, too. They know that if a guy gets over 100 yards, they've done a great job, too.
You think every starter sort of has the number 100 in his mind before a game?
I guarantee that they do. That's what they think about. That's what they dream about. That's what they visualize during practice all week. 100 yards, because once you get there, it's almost like you hit that number, boom, you might even get the 2.
Being chased out left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Green. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. They'll drop the throw. Forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw now on first down. Dancing to his left. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards there and another first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A.J. Green as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point splits the uprights.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. 19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. The Bears trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, it's off to Jacksonville to see what's going on with the Jags. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. In that game, all tied with the visiting Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, To me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no. They went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them?
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Carolina! Devin Funchess with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So out come the Falcons now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And, boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch that and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed. And then we got to see it unfold in real time. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Duke Johnson hit his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And we are tied at 21. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
I've got zero rooting interest in this game, but this is a lot of fun to watch. When you watch a guy get with his offensive line and have that great relationship, and I think it has to have been built during the week, during training camp, throughout the season, sitting and watching tape together, finding where their creases are, the gaps, knowing how guys are going to block. And right now, he's almost unstoppable. Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
Back to throw now on first down. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Falcons have broken our tie. Extra point right down the middle. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your play? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deion Jones. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the fourth and final quarter of play. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing third and long. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught at the 25. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 77 yards. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Falcons have broken our tie. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He's going to let this one go deep. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they try the right side here. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
Here's Coleman on the toss. And some room to run now. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now they try the right side here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Watch the run.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click, And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Falcons, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So for Charles